Trying to act on Hey, how you doing? Give me 1 second. I have a conversation scheduled for 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. 1 moment, please. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. So I've got a conversation scheduled today. Okay. Hey, Carlos. Okay, so you're on. So I sent you an invitation, Carlos. Let's see if you can grab it or you can request an invite here if you want. Let's see. Let's get you on here. How's it going, everybody? I've got a conversation today with my friend and colleague Carlos Diaz, and we're just trying to get him on the stream right now. Just having a few technical difficulties, but better late than never, I always say. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me know if you can't. Okay, review. Oh, great. Hey, there we go, brother. Brother
Hey,
Carlos,
how
how you
are
doing, my
you?
friend?
I'm good, I'm
Good to
good.
see you, man.
Good to see you, sir. Good to see you,
All right,
Eric.
yeah. All right, so we figured it out.
Yes,
I had my tech support help
that's
out, yeah.
okay. It's my first
No,
time
man.
doing this anyway.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. But hopefully we'll have more. All right, so I'll just introduce you real quick. I did it in the previous ones, but here we are. So this is my friend and colleague, Carlos Diaz, the great Carlos Diaz from Germany, live. Do you want to say where you're from and stuff, or you want me to just? Oh, he's from Peru, Peruvian dancer, beautiful dancer, great storyteller, great choreographer. When I was in Vegas, would you spend like a week or so, something like a week together? Good, yeah.
Yes.
And we worked on your show. So do you want to take it from there and just summarize a little bit what we did and how it worked out for you and that kind of thing? And can you hear me
Uh,
okay, by the way?
yes, I can hear you. It's just like you are outside a little,
I am outside.
but I can hear you
Okay,
good.
sounds good,
So
brother.
good,
Just
good.
talk loud so I can hear you,
You
old
can hear
ears.
me well?
Okay, can you talk loud though?
Speak louder. Okay, no
Yeah, just
problem.
so I can hear you.
Yeah, maybe it's also because I'm in the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me now better?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. What was your question again?
Oh, just you want to talk about our collaboration the first time when you were here and
Well, yeah, sure. So while I was visiting Vegas, actually, my intention was definitely work with you more than get to know Vegas.
right,
But yeah, it was a great time because, as you know, maybe people who are watching don't know, I started taking your method more or less 2018, 2019.
I was in New
But
York then.
I was back then in Peru, still in plans to move to Germany. But we never met in person. However, I saw a lot of your videos and I got very curious about your method. So the opportunity arrived and I decided, okay, we will visiting the US with my family, and why not to take advantage of this moment to also visit Eric and work with him finally in person and get a lot of questions solved in the studio, because so far till then and due to COVID actually,
Right.
we only worked through video.
Zoom. Yep. The Zoom days. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, it was a really interesting experience to me because it was completely different, or it's well, not necessarily completely different, but it was richer to work with you in person. Obviously, through video, it was also a new territory for everybody to work during COVID, during the lockdown. But that's an important thing that brings me to something that I wanted to talk about. That despite I started getting to know your method in 2019, 2018, it wasn't until COVID, until we had this context of the lockdown, that it became a really useful resource for me to keep training in the conditions that we were, that we couldn't go to the studio, we couldn't
Right.
because also for me, back then I spent a lockdown in Germany, and it was quite strict. Well, yes, we could go outside to the parks. That was the good thing. However, we couldn't go to the studio, or any of those group activities were like prohibited. So working in the basics, in the essentials, the way you work, being specific, being focused in just some areas of the body, some movements, really helped me. Not only maintaining my what we can call the ballet technique, but
Yeah.
also I felt that it was also a moment for me to really get deeper, or change my perspective how I was training, and also for by extension on how I wanted my career to develop. You know.
Can you tell? Can you tell? Because I don't even know the details. Because I didn't want to ask you in advance, because I wanted to ask you now. So the show that you put together that we worked on, can you just give some points? So, for example, like how long was the dance or dances? How many shows did you do? Um, Talk a little bit about the funding process, because I think very few of us really understand that, and I know you've got some experience now, and maybe people would benefit from hearing how you did, at least in Europe, how that works. But in because I don't really know. I know obviously we filmed our episodes, and I'm going to put them out again on top, like pin some of them, because we talked today, so people can see what we're talking about. I think it'll be maybe more interesting this time after hearing you talk. So if you could just tell us, because I really genuinely want to know. So after you left, what occurred then, and just how long was the piece? How many dancers? How many shows did you have? Did you get the full 10 shows? Isn't that what we were aiming for?
Uh,
Or
no, but actually, okay. So just to give the people a little bit
yeah,
of context,
yeah.
well, since more or less 3 years, I started choreographing.
Hmm.
Also, I think because a lot of things came to my life in this moment, I started working more as a freelancer, and that gave me also the ability to spend more time researching choreography. More or less 3 years ago, um, and actually, through your method, I felt that I could do that, because at the same time I decided to enter in choreography. I was also still working as a dancer, but thanks to your method, I was able, I think, to how would I say it, to adapt my training to my needs, and therefore also in my choreographic research, I could do this.
Well, also
So I
using it to
think
coach your dancers, or
yes,
also for,
definitely.
yeah, because I
I,
know we
I,
worked on that.
with my experience after training with you through video, and later with our time in Las Vegas, that gave me some basis some understanding of how I could integrate it in the training of the dancers or the collaborators with whom I am
So
working.
how was your show received? I think it was
The show,
successful
yeah,
because
and
you got invited to a festival, right? Yeah, tell us the success. I want to hear the good news, man, because I I know we talked a little bit offline about it, but if you could just tell how well it went, that would be cool.
So just to clarify, these were two different projects. So the big project, the one that I choreographed about a Peruvian author,
Yeah, that
we
one.
got funded
Yep.
thanks to the system, the funding system that exists here in Germany.
Hmm.
First, by the city of Frankfurt, where I'm based, and second of all, by the state of Hessen, where Frankfurt belongs. We sadly didn't get federal funding, so we have to recur to private donations to finalize our
Yes.
budget needs.
And how was the show received by the
It
audience?
was well received, thankfully. It was my first project. It was completely new territory. There was a review in a newspaper, Frankfurter Rundschau. It's called. Sorry if it's in German. I don't know how
No,
to
you're right.
translate this.
You're right. We're all
Uh,
multinational here.
and I was a little afraid because I was working with so many languages, especially
Right.
Spanish, also German, also English, and some French. Also because I had a group of dancers who had different backgrounds and nationalities, and to put all this in together also was a challenge, and I think what also the perspective that I got from training with you and your method also kind of extrapolated in how I approach, integrating, for example, people who work differently, who have different needs, movements, and bodies. This so to say, this ethos of not worrying about so much. Or not being focused on just the aesthetics, but more in where does the movement come from, or how we can do this or that from a very basic perspective, And yeah, definitely that helped me. Like I said, it was well received. We had a very positive review. People can still read it on the internet, on the
Did
website of
you
the
did you
foundation.
is this the piece that was the basis for you getting invited to the festival in New York, which I know you could not come to, but
No,
you got
that
to
that was a
see.
different piece.
Let me just say one thing to people watching. He's being very humble. He's a very beautiful, humble person, but he's a really good storyteller, really good choreographer, and that's my review of working with you, man. And I
Thank you.
partnered you. Remember that we worked on partnering together. Yeah, and I
Lorena.
just had surgery. Yeah,
Yeah.
so just
So
you got invited to which festival in New York, and this is for this
So
summer.
we were invited to the Dumbo Dance Festival, not with this big piece, but a smaller piece that I
Uh,
worked also last year, and which definitely needed more technical challenges. And with the two dancers with whom I worked this piece, it was at the end a piece of a pas de trois, if we can call it,
Patapon? Okay.
uh, divided in two sections. It was with Peruvian music of an artist called Imasumak, who actually some people may know or not know her in the U.S., but she's the only Peruvian who has a star in the Walk of Fame in Hollywood.
Oh,
It
really?
was a soprano
Right.
back in the 20th century, and yeah, and the music really inspired me to play with this choreography. It started actually as a duet of just two male dancers. One of them I had to be
You
myself
dance
because
also. Yeah, yeah. Of
budget.
course you do. Of course you do.
And
So what? Can you
yeah,
tell me what's next?
tell me.
Sorry, can you
Yes.
tell me what's next? for you? What are you working on now? I think you just submitted funding for your next project, right?
Yes, yes.
And
Recently
anything you want to
we
say about that would be good, I think, you know.
Yeah, I'm right now at the moment working in a project. It's a little bit a tricky topic, but it's mostly about the intersections of violence and erotism, especially in queer experiences in the gay scene. Which I'm part of. And yeah, I just submitted. Hopefully, we will get it, but still, we will need some funding, extra funding. So you can find my GoFundMe in my
Yeah.
the link for my GoFundMe in my profile.
Which
I
one?
I also
Instagram?
can comment it here. Just maybe it's found it. So yeah,
Oh, you put it
uh,
there. Yeah, I see.
and it's gonna be a challenge for me because it's gonna be the first time I'm gonna try to do a piece for only two dancers, a very lengthy piece of two
How long?
dancers. You know,
How
like
long?
for minimum 1 hour, which
Oh, are you gonna be one of the dancers?
if there's no enough funds, maybe. Because that's the point when there's not enough money to pay for the
Yeah,
extra dancer,
yeah.
one
Of
has to
course,
step in, you know.
of course.
And
So two dancers are gonna dance the
hmm?
piece in 1 hour.
Sorry.
For 1 hour, it will be. The music is 1 hour.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be only music. There's gonna be like I think what I'm developing in recent years, and also because that's one of my core, I don't know, inspirations is dance theater. Is this combination of
Right, right,
using
right.
voice, using performance, performative scenes, and also dance, everything combined, you know. And I think that's kind of the direction that I'm putting this piece, in
Okay,
that
so dance
yeah,
theater. That's good. Okay, yeah. So
exactly.
it's not two guys dancing for an hour and then
No, no,
collapsing
no.
after.
I
Right? Yeah,
think I
yeah.
couldn't do it, but I'm sure there are dancers who are very virtuoso maybe to do that, but not in my case.
Right.
Non-stop. I think it's gonna be also that's something that I like a lot, to integrate all these different skills that dancers, some not only dancers, but beyond the idea of just being a dancer, so being
Right.
a performer, you know,
Right.
which one can see it already in ballet pieces, you know, with the in very classical ballet pieces when when we have this element of acting and pantomime. Those
Pantomime.
are
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That would be wonderful to bring some of that back, especially because it's an art by itself, right? Of
exactly,
course, the
exactly.
acting, but the pantomime, especially doing that, is quite challenging. Yeah, the Soviets did
Yeah.
that well. Yeah, back in history. Well, all right, brother. It's good to see you. And
Good to see you too, sir.
so let's do another one as soon as when you find out about funding, what have you, and you begin to
Yeah,
rehearse.
sure.
Maybe we'll collaborate also
Yeah,
in some way,
definitely.
and then we can
That would
talk
be
about it.
really interesting
Yeah,
to
yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
yeah.
because I mean, we talked a little bit about it offline about the subject matter, but because obviously, I'm not part of that directly, your community, but sometimes maybe ideas can come from the outside that spark some kind of idea. You know what I mean? Like just a outside perspective to go, well, what if we contrast this idea with this idea? I don't know. We talked about it, remember a little bit, but maybe once you start rehearsing and whatnot, we can talk about it again.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah,
Sound good?
definitely. Sounds
Sound
good.
good?
Sounds good.
Great. So I'll post our some videos from our collaboration earlier, and then thank you for coming on. I appreciate it, man. You're the first one.
No, no.
You're
Thank
the
you for the
brave, the bold.
invitation. it was great, especially a first experience me doing a live
Me,
stream.
yeah,
So
me too. You did
I
great.
hope we can repeat it again and see how we reach people out there. And
I
you know,
mean, we could do it live from the studio too.
yeah, we could
We
do,
could do
yeah,
it live from
definitely.
the studio. We could show some of your choreography also, and we could even do that soon with regard to the fundraising. If we show an image, I think it's going to be more powerful than just words, right?
Yeah,
So let's
exactly,
talk about
exactly.
that offline and see if you want to do it from the studio, pretty soon.
Definitely. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, we'll follow. I'll follow you on this, and we'll see what we can do.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So,
All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon,
uh,
man. Ciao. Take care.